Hi folks, this video that you're about to watch was shot at the end of December, so it's taken me a while to edit it, but I hope you enjoy it and I will see you again soon. Hi friends, welcome back to Three Barrow Farm. I have just noticed that my first zucchini is ready to pick, so we twist them off when we pick zucchinis. Look at that, it is small and short and tubby. So good. I feel like I've waited a long time for the first zucchini, and I'm going to be cooking this up for my breakfast this morning with some eggs. While I was walking around the garden yesterday, I noticed that one of these apples, I'm just taking a couple off that have been eaten by the cockatoos, but one of the apples on this tree had been knocked off. And here is another one that's been knocked off by the cockatoos this morning. We're trying our best to keep as many for ourselves, but because we're not ready to net yet, we are losing some apples to the birds. But yesterday, that one that fell down didn't have any marks in it. It looked perfect like this one here, and I bit into it. And it tasted delicious, just like this one. They aren't completely ready yet because when I cut into this apple, the pips are white. You want them to be brown and, dark, or even to a black colour, because that's an indicator that the apple is ready. I'm not sure which variety this apple is. All of our apples are heritage variety apples, but this is a fantastic pre-breakfast snack. The first job I have on my list today to do in the garden is to chop and drop this wormwood here. It's taking over completely, and I never intended for it to stay in the veggie garden this long. What I want to do is I want to harvest some of these new shoots and pop them in a little bit of honey just to help stimulate root growth, and then I'm going to pop them in some soil, probably some seed raising mix, which is great for cuttings as well. And I'm going to do some different sorts of lengths of cuttings here. So I'll take the really soft tips as well as some harder wood as well and see how they both go. But what I'm going to do is just peel off the stems on the lower part. There's a little spider on my hand. Pop it into some honey and then pop it into the soil, and hopefully I will get some more wormwood plants that I can plant out around the chicken coop that we're going to build this year. I'm going to be using these two tools here, so I've got some loppers and I've got some shears, and pretty much I think I'm going to be using the loppers most of the time because the wood is quite thick. The branches are very thick and there are lots of ladybirds in this, so this is the reason why I'm chopping and dropping. I want to cover my pathway with what I chop off this, and then the ladybirds can find a home in the other plants in my garden. I started gardening at 6 o'clock this morning. It's now 8 o'clock. I still haven't had my breakfast, so I'm definitely working up an appetite. And it's warming up now. So I'm just dropping what I'm cutting off here into the pathway. I'm just gonna chop it up a bit. And this is going to bring in the sunshine for these pumpkins that I have growing along here, because it has just been overcrowding them. They haven't been getting as much sunshine as the pumpkins in other parts of my garden. And the idea is just to chop and drop it where it is, and then it becomes mulch for my garden. This plant is also overshadowing my carrots a little bit that I have here, so I'm just gonna hack it back a bit, take out a few of these branches that are growing over the carrots, Chuck them on the ground here in the pathway and chop them up. Wormwood is a fantastic plant, especially for chickens, for keeping the mites away. But there are so many other things you can do with wormwood. They definitely bring on the beneficial insects into your garden. It is fantastic for tomatoes and capsicums and chilies at keeping the insects away. So I might actually pop a few, I've got a brick in here to bring up. I might pop a few branches around my tomato plants. So I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of this over to my tomato plants. I'm going to chop it up, put it underneath as a mulch, and hopefully it keeps the bugs at bay as well. Well, there we have it. I have most of my path back again, although it is quite close to the pathway, this plant. And these pumpkins have plenty of room to grow up over this trellis here. And I've got these cuttings here to give them a go to make some more wormwood plants. It is such a beneficial plant to have in the garden and for your animals as well. Not only is this plant great for animals at keeping control of parasites, but you can also make your own tincture and keep control of your own. You can make a tincture with these fresh leaves, or you can dry them and make a tincture with dried leaves. I do it myself and I give it to our whole family, and it keeps us on track with our parasite control. Now I could continue chopping up all of this that I have dropped onto the ground, and I will eventually, but I'm going to take my zucchini inside and have my breakfast. I hope that your garden is thriving, my friends, and I will see you next time for another video.